Previously did the Osight C, which is the RMR footprint, but in this one we're going to check out the Osight K, which is the RMSC footprint. This one here is a 6 MOA dot. They always come with a ton of screws, different thread pitches and lengths. They also always give you extra. Where's my guy at here? Somewhere the little tool's hiding. You know, your instruction comes in here. You get a cameo wipe. There's your instructions, sights, little quick reference card. Where is that guy at? It's going to drive me crazy. I got my little tool here. There it is. I was going to say it's just somewhere there. Love this tool. That end there will allow you to torque her down. The other end for the we got to open this actually and see if there's a side battery tray, which I'm going to show it to you up close anyways. But for the side battery tray, so you don't have to remove it off your firearm when it does come time to replace the battery. And then also for your windage and elevation marks, which I'll get some of that on camera. But let me get this guy opened up here real quick. So there's the little C. It's going to be ideal for some, you know, compact, subcompact carry size like this. You can see that little yellow tab there. It does come with the battery already. They put that tab between it. We'll need to remove it so it doesn't make contact while it's in storage, so there's no power drain. And as you can see there, side battery tray. So like I said, you do not have to dismount when it finally does come time to replace your battery. Got some iron sights built in there for some co-witness with certain pistol models. And like I said, down in there, it's going to be all the same stuff I just went over. Let me get this thing mounted up. Get my target set up here. See where a point of impact is. Get her zeroed. Knock down some of this steel. We may do some rifle range shots, a little further range than what we can do here today if I have time to slip it in. And make sure you stay tuned through the video. I will, to the best of my ability, as always, get some up-close images of that dot for you there. Also, if I didn't already say it, these always come with that dry thread locker there, which is awesome because you can come down the range like I am right now. Just throw it on and you're good to go. And the days are old where you had to drop the liquid stuff on and wait for it to sit. If you tried to do that here, that thing would be flinging off in about 5 shots. I've had it happen. So I love that they put this dry thread locker on these. You're good to go right out of the box. But there she is mounted up on my Shield Plus. You know, I usually don't say this, but I'll throw up a review video of this if you guys want to check it out. This is actually a 30 Super Carry. And you can see the dot there, plenty bright. It's out of focus, so it's much, much smaller than that. At least half the size, if not a little smaller. But as I said, later in the video, I will get you some still images of that to give you a better idea of what that looks like. But she's plenty daytime bright. And it's got some lower settings to work with night vision optics. You can operate it manually like I've done here. Or you can have it in standby / shake awake, auto on, auto off, whatever you want to call it. She'll shut off after a few minutes if you had it set up to do so. And then as soon as you pick her up, she'll kick back on for you, ready to go at the last brightness setting. But there she is there. Got my target up there. I think we'll go for, well, let's just go center mass to start. I'm going to kind of line it up with my sights. And we'll get her close. See where I'm impacting down there and fine tune it from there and then knock some steel down.
Eyes and ears I'm wearing today, guys, is by Shell Shock. Most comfortable pair of each that I've ever worn. There's links under the videos if you want to check them out. So we'll go center mass here and see where our point of impact is currently and adjust.
Alright, well those were 3 terrible shots by me, but they are high right. So you got to bring it down some and bring it to the left some. And then I'll try to grip up on her a little better. I am shooting a little further. Usually we start out 6 or 7 yards. That's probably about 10 yards there. Okay, as I said earlier, I already adjusted it some to kind of line it up with my sights. They are audible and give me a nice good force feedback. Of course, it's always hard to pick it up on camera. So let's go down some. Hopefully you can hear the clicks. And then we're off to the right down there, so I need to go left. And again, I can hear that and feel that, but I don't know if that translates through the camera. So Probably not 100% yet, but this should get us a lot closer. So now I will go for the bottom dot. Okay, a lot better shooting that time. I did just come off of shooting a different pistol with a completely different trigger, so a lot better shots there. Still a little high right, so we got to come down a little more and a little more left still. Okay, I'm just pulling shots down there, but that one that hit the bullseye was a perfect shot, not because I hit the bullseye, but I got a perfect release on the trigger. The dot was right over the dot, so yeah, we're zeroed there. Good enough. So let me get the steel set up here. We'll start knocking some of these down. Oh, that's fun. I just came off of shooting some hot 9mm loads, and these 30 Super Carry, man, the recoil is so much lighter. You know, a lot of people say they can't tell the difference between 9 and 30 Super Carry. But even with factory loads, I could tell a difference. But out here today, shooting these hand loads, and we were just shooting kind of hot 115 grain 9s. This is a huge difference, even with this being a smaller gun. Very fun to shoot. Let's finish this mag on that gong over there. So I wanted to go ahead and throw this image up first. It is out of focus, but just so you could see that nice, bright, vibrant red and how perfectly round and crisp it is. It actually looks more red than this in person, but this is not in focus. So the dot actually appears about half this size, and you can see it's full sun out there on the grass that it's pointing at. So now I'll go ahead and switch over now to where it actually focused on the dot, but every time my camera focuses on the dot, you can see how it turns white, and then it's got like a blurry red edge. It does not look like that. It's difficult to catch these on camera, so this is just the best that I can do. They always look far better in person, but yeah, it'd be a nice vibrant red like the previous picture, only more red and more vibrant, and I didn't even have it turned up all the way. But the actual size of the dot is very, very close in appearance to this image here. And they are perfectly round like that unless you have an astigmatism. However, these 6 MOA dots are usually better for the astigmatism. They don't look as fuzzy and starburst as the smaller ones do, because it's focusing that light on a larger area compared to like a 2 MOA dot. It's focusing all that bright light on a really tiny 2-inch area at 100 yards instead of a 6-inch area at 100 yards. So it causes it to blur and look more fuzzy, worse if you have an astigmatism like I do. This thing actually looked pretty dang perfect for me with my astigmatism as long as I had my glasses on. But that's me, and there are different types of astigmatism, so your results may vary. But in general, a 6 MOA dot is almost always going to be better for somebody with an astigmatism. And they don't look any bigger to me than a 2 or 3 MOA dot, because with my astigmatism and with the 6 MOA dots looking nice, fine, round, and crisp to me, unlike the 2 to 3 MOA dots, it actually appears the same size because they're not fuzzy looking. I'll try to get those 2 closer ones there. I'll hold here so you guys can kind of get a neat perspective and see it, and then I'm going to draw back. The laser rangefinder confirmed to those bowling pins back there, 17 yards, so it'd be like 17-yard headshots. I'm going to try to hit them all without missing, standing freehand. If you guys are looking to get yourself a good budget rangefinder, I've been using that one for years. There's a link under the video for that. But let's see if I can get those without missing. Not exactly a super easy shot. don't know if you guys can still see the pistol or not, but "17-yard headshots. Didn't miss a single one." You reach around the camera here. This is kind of difficult. Let the hate comments roll in about my grip.
I was doing so good, I was trying to see how fast I could go and still hit it. I got ahead of myself.
Keep in mind this thing was zeroed for close range. It was a little bit off down there. I wasn't exactly sure which way. But if I actually zeroed it for 50 or knew the exact holdover and slowed down just a tad, every shot would have been a hit at 50. There you have it. Obviously this one we're doing the, what was that thing called? I've already forgotten. CK. It must have been the K because this is the bigger one. And we just previously did the K, the RMR footprint on this full-size Glock clone. So if you want to see that, I'll put a link under the video for that. But we just wrapped up with the K here, RMSC, for these smaller guns here. And man, just as capable. 17-yard headshots, standing freehand, no problem. Nice fine crisp dot. I probably said earlier in the video already, but these are not my first rodeo with the Osights. I actually really like them. I think the ergos on them are great. I think this is, what are we on, number 5 or 6 Osight sights now. Not had a single issue out of any of them. I mean, I don't take a hammer to them and bash them or anything like that. But in normal operation, I've never had a single issue with them. I always like the dots are super fine and crisp, like I said. Plenty daytime bright. Should have had images up for you guys. I can't even, it's too sunny out here. I can't see my own camera. Should have already had images up for you guys of that dot there. But I really like these things, and they perform great. If you guys want to get yourself any of the products you see me use in any of my videos, like my steel targets I use, target stand, paper targets, rangefinder, safety glasses, earmuffs, and way more, all that's linked under the video. And for things I cannot link to on YouTube, check out my campsite page, which is also linked under the video. But thanks for stopping by and checking us out today, guys. I really appreciate it. And I hope to catch you on the next one.